Hi friends, welcome to Super Shop Moms. As discussed in part 1 of the clock, we have just seen how to identify the hours. Now in part 2, we will go in much details about the telling time. Now, see, here now I will explain with example of figures. Before starting of going to minutes, the child has to be thorough with 5 table or skip counting of 5. Because here each number on this clock represents some minutes, which is skip counting of 5. Like 1 represents 5, 2 represents 10, 3 represents 15 minutes, 4 20, 5 25, 6 30 minutes, 7 35 minutes, 8 40 minutes, 9 45 minutes, 10 50 minutes and 11 55 minutes. So the kid has to be thorough with the 5 table or skip counting of 5. Now before starting the part 2, the child has to understand that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. This hour hands move slowly, and compared to the hours hand, minutes hand will move bit faster. Sorry. Now I'll explain how the minutes hand move in 1 hour. In this figure, like here, my minutes hand is on 12 and my hours hand is on 3. That means my current time is 3. After 5 minutes, when my minutes hand moves to the pointing to the 1, that means the time is 3:05. After that, the minute hand moves to 2. The time is 3:10. Here, the minute hand comes to 3, which means the time is 3:15. Like that, when it is pointing to 4, it is 3:20. When it is pointing to 5, it is 3:25. When it is pointing to 6, it is 3:30. When it is pointing to 7, it is 3:35. When it is pointing to 8, it is 3:40. Like when it is pointing to 9, it is 3:45. When it is pointing to 10, it is 3:50. And when it is pointing to 11, it is 3:55. Finally, when it is pointing to 4, it is pointing to 12, it is 4 o'clock. That means, see, in this figure, the hour hand is at 3. But after 1 hour, the hour hand is at 4. So, it took total 1 hour, that is 60 minutes, to pass this small hand from 3 to 4. So, hour hand moves from digit to digit, it will take 1 hour. But as in case of minutes hand, every 5 minutes it is moving the number. Here it was at 12, then it went to 1, then it went to 2, like that. Okay, this is the concept of hour hand and minutes hand. Now, going to the next terminology. We can mention the time like this also. When it is 15 minutes, we can call it as quarter hour. When it is 30 minutes, it is called half hour. When it is 45 minutes, it is called 3/4 hour. When it is 60 minutes, it is called 1 hour. Okay, I repeat once again. 15 minutes is quarter hour. 30 minutes is half hour. 45 minutes is 3/4 hour. 60 minutes is 1 hour. Now, in higher grades, there will be definitely questions based on this past and to related to clock. So let me explain this. We will divide this clock into 2 halves. One is right hand side and one is left hand side. When my minute hand is on the right hand side, we will call it is past. We will have to use the term past. When my minute hand is on the left hand side, we have to use the term to. I'll explain in detail. See. When the minute hand is on the right hand side of the clock, it shows the number of minutes past the hour. For example, see in this figure. My hours hand is at 1, my minutes hand is at 3. So, normally we have to tell it is 1:15. But when we have to use the terminology quarter and past, what we have to tell? It is 15 minutes past 1. Because the minutes hand is on the right side, I have to use the term past. So, 15 minutes past 1. And 15 minutes is nothing but quarter. So, quarter past 1. I'll explain with another example. See, In this diagram, my hour hand is between 1 and 2 and my minutes hand is at 6. So I have to use the term past. So 30 minutes past 1, or 30 minutes we have to call half. So half past 1, that is 1:30. 30 minutes past 1 or half past 1. Now in the next example, my minute hand is moving to the left hand side of this division. So I have to use the term 2. So what I have to write? 15 minutes to 2. That means if 15 minutes are over, then my time will be 2. So 15 minutes to 2, or 15 minutes can be called as quarter. So it is quarter to 2. The time is 1:45. So 1:45 or 15 minutes to 2 or quarter to 2. So this is related to past and to. Now we will just see some simple questions based on duration of time. See, some simple questions will be current time, like time now will be 8. So after 1 hour, how much is the time? 8 plus 1, 9. 1 hour before, it will be 7. Current time is 6. 1 hour later, it will be 7. And 1 hour before, it will be 5. Now time now is 6 o'clock. Then 2 hours later, it will be 6 plus 2, 8. 2 hours before, it will be 6 minus 2. So it will be 4. The next type of questions can be, how many hours passed when our hand moves from? So, if I see this clock, the first question is 5 to 7. So, when my hours hand is from 5 to 7, how many hours are passed? So, 5. It will be 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So, 2 hours are passed. In the same way, when hours hand is passed from 8 to 11, how many hours? So when my hours hand is 8, when it will go to 11, after how many hours it will go to 11 means 8 to 9 it has to go, 9 to 10 it has to go, 10 to 11 it has to go. So total 3 hours it will take to go to 11. In the same case, if my hour hand is pointing to 3 and it has to come to 6, how many hours? 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Total 3 hours. Now, let's see some word related problems. Venu jogged for 2 hours in the park. He started at 6 o'clock in morning. What time did he finish the jogging? I'll just give simple tip here. Whenever you people are doing this word related problems, try to underline. See, 2 hours, then 6 o'clock, and what they are asking, when he finishes the jogging. So this type of underlining will help to, while rechecking, it will easily help you to identify the question and recheck your answer. Sorry. So now number of hours Venu jogged is 2 hours. Time when he started is 6 o'clock. So the time when he finished jogging will be 2 hours from 6 o'clock. That is 6 plus 2. So at 8 o'clock Venu finished jogging. And one more thing, kid has to be very clear that in word related problems they have to write these statements, because for statements also they will carry marks. Even if we just write solution as 8 o'clock, that doesn't give complete marks. Every statement will be having marks. So please write all statements clearly. Okay. So this is about clock. I'll just give one small revision about this. So clock is having, generally clock will have 3 hands. Short hand is hour hand, long hand is minute hand, thin long hand, this one. This is second hand, but we are not dealing much with that. Then AM full form is ante-meridiem, PM is post-meridiem. Then hour hand takes 1 hour to move from one number to another. But whereas minutes hand will take 5 minutes to move from one number to another. So this is about clock basics. I hope you people understood.